recent college graduates are either currently unemployed or in a position that does not require a bachelor's degree. I plan to convince you why I believe that general education classes should be removed from the college curriculum. Most people know someone in college, whether they're a friend or a student. And I believe that with the economy the way it is, it's getting harder and harder for people to find jobs. So that's why I believe that our graduates should be as prepared as possible for the workforce. Being a college student myself, I've seen my fellow peers really struggle in finding jobs, and I believe that's mainly due to a level of unpreparedness. I believe that there's need to be some major changes in the way that we groom students for life after college. And employers are looking for people who are well-rounded, and the way the college curriculum is set up now, we're really not giving students the specific knowledge and skill sets that employers are actually looking for. In a recent survey of employers, it was found that employers were saying that, I think a third of employers were saying that they felt that universities were poorly preparing students to be successful employees, which is why many students now are being turned down for jobs in favor of workers who already have the experience. Employers want students who can communicate and write effectively, who can organize their ideas, who can make smart decisions, and who can problem solve on their own, and who can adapt quickly to different situations. Everyone knows that education is extremely important. It's very vital and it's a very integral part of our society. But with the low success rates of graduates, people are beginning to question, is it even worth going to college if I'm going to spend all this money and I'm going to get this degree, but it's not really going to mean anything. It's not going to guarantee me a quality job. This issue is not only affecting graduates, it's also affecting other workers as well. For instance, it's so expensive to get a college degree, so you go through this and then you don't have a job. So what do? You're forced to settle for a job that you're overqualified for. But then the other workers who are either no education or just a little education, they're out of a job. That you're taking their job. So that causes unemployment levels to just continue to increase. So I'm sure you're wondering, how do we fix this? How do we improve this system and better prepare our graduates for the future? I believe that the best solution is implementing an open curriculum. This curriculum would remove general education classes from the requirements of a bachelor's degree. So, for instance, we spend 12 years of our lives in general education classes in school. So there's really no need in college to waste time rehashing and relearning skills and knowledge that we should have already learned in our younger years. People go to college because they want to pursue their passion. They want to learn classes that are particular to their exact specific field. College is so expensive, it's kind of, it's hard to justify taking classes that really won't benefit you in the future. And also studies show that students are going to devote more time and be more passionate about classes that they feel they're learning valuable information and knowledge that's going to benefit them in the future. So now I'm going to talk about my plan of action. After implementing this program, there are going to be so many more opportunities for students to really develop and really further their education. The first step would be implementing classes that are specific in teaching the actual skills that employers are looking for. For instance, earlier I mentioned that employers wanted sound decision makers. So per se, there may be a class that's actually teaching students how to make good budget decisions, how to make investments, just different smart decisions such as those. Or there could be a class that teaches teach them how to write professional documents, how to handle the interview process, because some of those classes are skills that students really lack now, but could really benefit from. The second step would be implementing more hands-on and more in-depth classes that give a more realistic experience of what the workplace is like. Me, myself, I'm in graphic design, and I wish there was a class that taught how to price jobs or how to open my own business and the rules and regulations that go along with that. I really feel that would be a really useful class. As it stands right now, in order to get a degree, you have to spend 120 hours, and those 120 hours are split between your required classes for general education and then the ones actually particular to your major. Well, the way it's set up, teachers are having to rush through to teach you everything. They're not really able to spend any time with anything. But if the general education classes were removed, teachers would be able to slow down, really go in depth about everything. You would really actually learn what they're teaching, and you'd be able to also take more classes that are particular to your major. The third and probably most important step would be mandatory internships. Experience is becoming more and more critical to being able to get a job. So companies are less willing to waste time and money training an employee when they can go ahead and hire one who already has the experience. I know many graduates are having that problem now, where they're being, let go or not even given the chance because they just don't have the experience. So I think the most important step for universities would assist students in obtaining at least one, if not more, internships, and this would be a mandatory thing before they can receive the degree. And this would ensure that students are prepared for the workforce and have all the skills that employers are looking for. So you're probably asking, why do I think this plan will work? How do I think it's going to be successful? Well, it's simple. Employers decide who gets hired and who gets rejected. So if employers have a specific thing they're looking for, it's important that college are geared toward teaching those exact things. For instance, the entertainment industry, it gears its pop stars and musicians to be exactly what the audience is looking for. So why shouldn't colleges be grooming its students to be exactly what the employers are looking for? Another valuable thing, right now, a degree doesn't seem very valuable to most people because they're not getting that quality job. So with this change, a degree will be more valuable. People are going to see it as a valuable commodity, and they're going to want to attend college, and they're going to want to get that degree. So as you can see, it's really good, and it's going to change the way students are learning, and it's going to reshape the college environment. So, as I said, there's really only two major benefits, but these benefits are extremely powerful and extremely instrumental. To have a graduate who is, for sure going to be ready for the employment world. This is going to decrease in unemployment, which will in turn, it's going to make universities more appealing. People are going to want to attend university. That means probably more funding for projects, for scholarships. It's really going to enhance the appeal of a university. Now, say this plan is ignored. You keep going the way things are. Then that's going to, there may be some people attend colleges for a degree, for a job. And if they don't see that as an advantage, well, they're just going to opt out of college altogether, try a trade school, try something else, or just don't attend. And that's going to just make a decrease in enrollment. And then there's cut fundings, cut jobs, and just it's going to continue to downward spiral. This is just a couple of graphs that I found very informational. This first one is employers being surveyed if they felt graduates were qualified. Well, 42%, which is the highest bracket, said it's difficult to find a qualified graduate. The second one is talking about do internships lead to jobs. These are the people who receive jobs after an internship, and these are the percentage of people who did not. And as you can tell, there's probably a 20 to 30% difference in that. This bottom one shows the different fields of jobs, and if they prefer experience or academics. And you can tell there's a big difference. They care more about your experience than they do about your GPA or what classes you've taken. And then this final one shows, and these are actual students that are responding on how they felt school prepared them. It lists different skills, and if they felt college provided them with skills. And a lot of felt they were lacking in those skills, and the colleges were not teaching those. So, I believe it's time that the school curriculum learns to adapt. They need to meet the needs not only of students, but also of future employers. Current graduates are just simply unprepared for the workforce. We must make the necessary changes in order to, ensure that they're ready for, college graduation and life after college. As I explained, implementing this program is the best way that I see to ensure that graduates are ready. I think all current and future students, or really anyone who is passionate about this issue, should, call their local education department and demand more control over your education and direction over your future. And I would also, suggest, implementing this open curriculum into every college campus. As a nation, I feel that we're only as strong as the generation that follows. And if we just continue to, downward spiral with education, higher levels of debt for students, higher levels of unemployment, it's continue to just go down unless we try something new, something different that we feel will just continue to change the way things are headed. I'm reminded of a quote. It's by Plato. In a time, back in the past, where to me education was more valued. It was really about learning and really, just broadening your horizons and developing minds. And he said, "Do not train children to learn by force, but direct them to what amuses their minds, so they may discover the geniuses of each." So he really believed in really allowing somebody to really pursue what they love, and that would make them, if they loved it, that would just really grow their genius in them. Thank you.